throw out, which is maybe not politically popular, but I think it makes all the sense in the world. The common goal is to advance MWB utilization across the state, not only in the city of New York, not only in Buffalo, but statewide. Since PLAs negotiated individually, DASNY negotiated one several years ago, I think the Meyer Walleys, the Michael Gardners, myself, Buffalo, why aren't we sitting down, and I understand there's divisions, why aren't we sitting down talking about best practices?
What do you mean by that?
Of PLAs. Let me explain.
Yes, please.
In the DASNY PLA that we negotiated with Gary a couple years ago, there are some provisions that aren't in other PLAs.
Such as?
Stuff that Maya has that's not in my PLA. For example, union benefits. Non-union contractors are required, the owners are required to pay the union local who has jurisdiction for scope of work. They have to pay for each employee, union and non-union.
Did you guys know that?
Okay.
I knew it.
Raise your hand if you know.
So
Okay.
the union workers are vested, so they're going to get to avail themselves of those benefits. The non-union workers are not vested.
Exactly.
So therefore, the payments that the owners of those minority women-owned businesses are paying on behalf of those core employees, they never see the monies. They never see the benefits.
You guys know this?
Okay?
I know
Okay,
that.
You guys writing your questions, right? All
I'm-
right.
DASNY PLA, in the DASNY PLA, we negotiated with Gary, and it was a little tenuous, but we got it done, that those individual workers can petition, my word, the local to ask to receive those funds back for
Okay.
certain areas of the benefits that they're paying, that their owners are paying on their behalf. That's one thing.
Okay, one more. One more.
Another one which makes all the sense in the world is the fact that, again, the PLAs, a lot of misinformation about them. That if I sign up on a PLA, I'm signed for life. So if I do a project on that chair right there, it's PLA, and the chair next to me is non-PLA, I have to do that PLA too. In the DASNY PLA, that's not the case.
Okay.
You sign a letter of assent, you work on that PLA, if you get a job across the street, that's non-PLA. But these are things that I think from a principle point of view, and I don't think Gary would have a problem with that, we can make uniform.
So there is a way.
Buffalo, wherever.
So there is a way to kind of make them all similar. All right. Mr. Garner.
So good morning. So Mike is absolutely correct.
So why
When
are
the
you doing
MTA was starting to negotiate a pilot PLA at Long Island Railroad, both Nassau and Suffolk counties, the first call I made was to Paul Williams and Mike. So we went over there because it is my understanding that Paul Williams and DASNY has the most inclusive PLA agreement, because Paul Williams and Mike wanted the conversations to focus when it was going on the MWBE. So in many instances, once the PLA is negotiated, no one is sitting there talking about the MWBE. And so it is critical at the time of the negotiation that a MWBE focus has to be talked about, because if we're going to achieve these goals, and I know we're going to achieve them, but there must be inclusion at the initial talks and the negotiation of PLA.
Sounds to me like we need to make sure that we have some unity with these PLAs, doesn't it? Are you guys awake? Y'all listening? Y'all taking notes? Y'all, is everybody up? Yeah. All right, y'all listening then. That's what that means?
We are listening.
All right. So.
Can I just jump in one more?
One more, and then we also have Suzanne. Wait, Suzanne, I got to talk real quick.
Again, the school construction.
Yes.
PLAs, it's a great example of a great success as far as I'm concerned, mentor program. But one thing I do want to say in terms of the standardization that Mike brings up, so that is something that would be in our best interest out of all the agencies in the building trade. Because I just want to tell you, all of the PLAs that we mentioned, except Buffalo, I've negotiated, principally on behalf of the executive board, their building trades. And what's happened is that, the PLA continues to improve based on prior negotiations. So it's an evolving negotiation. So the reality is, if, like we did with the city, having a big room, as Maya points out, if you can have all the stakeholders involved and we get to where we can come to kind of a standardized PLA model, that works better for everybody, the building trades as well as I think all the agencies. So I just want to, kind of back up what Michael said. That makes a lot of sense.
Sounds like we need a consultant to organize a round table for a unified PLA, don't you think?
It sounds like it's a very serious
Susan?
issue.
Okay, but the City Construction Authority, what they were able to do under our PLA is, one, our mentor programs were actually exempt from the PLA, so which basically means most construction contracts under $1 million, you are not obligated, if you're in the mentor program, to sign on to the PLA. But as part of training contractors to go into the real world, we understand that eventually you'll have to deal with PLAs. So what they did negotiate is that you can elect to to do your project PLA, and during that election, you can bring along all of your current workforce. There's no drag along. But the only thing you have to prove that your workforce was your workforce for a period of time. So you are allowed to do that. And doing that, what we are doing is helping you understand that once you grow and continue to grow, doing business at the SCA or any other agency, you must at one point either go union or elect to go into new PLAs. And we want you to learn while you are in a controlled environment, because we work very closely with you, with our labor law department, to ensure that you understand what you're getting into once you decide to go PLA. And as you graduate out of the mentor program, at that time you have the option to go union and take your full workforce with you.
All right, you guys got that, right? Okay, so we're gonna move a little bit faster, because as you see the time right now, it's 10:21, and I know a lot